Prepare for launch.
Launch is a series of short videos and curated resources to support and equip ministry leaders for the important work that God calls us to, the work of growing in love of God and neighbor, and the transformation of today's world.
Today's focus is curriculum. I'm Christine Hides.
I'm Tanya Campen.
And I'm Kathy Pittenger, and we're your launch team.
We love to start these short videos with a playful question. And so today's question is, what is your favorite material to use in faith formation? Kathy, why don't you go first?
Yeah, so my favorite material to use for both me and the kiddos that I have worked with are Lego, because you can do all kinds of creative things with them. And we used to build fruit of the spirit or tell stories, and you can do all kinds of things. And I'll just throw a shout out to my Lego NES that hangs out in my office. So Lego are fun. Tanya, how about you?
I love Lego. And along the same lines, my favorite material to work with personally is Play-Doh, because you can create anything. And so I love giving folks of all ages a container of Play-Doh and a short creative prompt. And it's awesome to see what they create. I do have to say, though, the kids I work with, oftentimes their favorite material is sand, whether it's sand in a Tupperware that they use for a finger labyrinth, or if it's in the sand in a Godly Play desert box. They love just picking it up and feeling it in their hands and letting it go. And so that's a really fun one too. Christine.
Yeah, on a similar note, I really enjoy using natural materials, and stones are some of my favorite natural materials to use. They work really well when you're talking about the Old Testament stories, and especially of Abraham in the desert and building altars out of stones. They can be used just to hold as you pray, to sort of think about what is heavy on your hearts at that moment in time. And they're just wonderful to have to create whatever, kids love to, make a path out of stones or rearrange them. I find it to be a really contemplative material to work with. So stones are my favorite. And as a transition into our topic today, I think stones are, a foundational curriculum is a foundational question that many of us have right now, especially in the time of COVID-19. And so we have 3 points today on the topic of how to choose curriculum or not in this particular time of COVID-19. So Tanya, why don't you go first?
Sure thing, thanks. I think first we just need to remember the importance of relationships and inviting people to make meaningful connections. In our last launch playlist, we talked about the importance of relationships over content. And this is just really important no matter what curriculum you choose or no matter what program you write. Just to ask, how are we bringing people together, either online or in person? How are we connecting to people in our community? And how are we helping them build relationships with God and with each other?
Thank you. I think the connection right now is so important, especially as many of us look around and listen to our congregations. We see that Zoom fatigue, COVID fatigue, limited mental bandwidth, and just plain exhaustion are very real and seem to be ongoing and with us for a while. People are hungry for meaningful spiritual practices that ground us in God's love and grace. So instead of planning a whole curriculum, maybe a lesson can be as simple as gathering people together safely for a walk, read a psalm, offer a discussion prompt, and then go take that walk and enjoy God's creation. We've done that this fall, and I have to say that it is one of the most popular things that we have done for families in this time of COVID. So we're really trying hard to have as little screen time as possible in faith formation. We can't eliminate it entirely, but those hands-on, high-touch experiences that are also safe are really wonderful. So Kathy, what about you?
Yeah, I think another perspective that we have to think about is budget. Some churches are doing okay, and others are being cautious about how much money they're spending. And so if you are in the market for a new curriculum, my people always know that I'm going to say start with your why. Why are you changing curriculum? Why do you need a new curriculum? And really having your own why will help you to know what to look for if you are choosing a curriculum. Also, as you consider your why, it's really important to consider the theology and faith tradition of your church to make sure that your curriculum lines up with those values that are important to your congregation. I also recommend testing it before you make the big purchase. A lot of places will have a trial run, or you can test it for 4 weeks, or that kind of thing, so that you know exactly what you're getting into. And you can ask your participants and your leaders what needs to be improved or changed, what's meaningful to them. And also, don't be afraid to move from a program focus to a people focus and try new things. And it may be that the way you use curriculum is different, or you keep the curriculum that you have, but you make it look different or do something different with it. So that would be my 2 things: are start with your why and consider your budget.
Thank you for joining us for this episode of Launch. Be sure to check out the full playlist, which includes a curriculum comparison chart and several low-cost or no-cost options that work for online learning. Go to launchfaith.com and be sure to join us for conversation about launch and launch-related topics on Vibrant Faith Catalysts.